afternoon, fastball fans, and welcome back to Softball City here in beautiful Surrey, British Columbia. Another spectacular afternoon on Canada's West Coast, the 2024 ISC World Tournament. We're going to bring you some ISC 2 winners bracket final action between the Sydney Tropics out on the field in teal and the Georgian Bay Giants from Wyerton, Ontario at bat in the orange and black. It's Troy Barfoot leading things off for the Giants. He'll be followed by Tyler Hewitt, Andrew Van Boekel, Adam Buchner, Wade Kiwajishig, Mady Ricevi, Curtis Root, Enzo Chiramonte, Cole McDougall, and Yuya Yamawaki is the pitcher for Georgian Bay. Defensively for the Sydney Tropics, and that is Sydney as in Sydney, Australia, left to right across the outfield. Chris Plain, Sam Seach is in center field, or Seach as we talked about. Matt Wickham is in right field. And then around the horn, Jamie Sheehan, shortstop Ryan King, second base Ben Bull, and at first it's Boston Lowe. Harrison Peters is on the board and makes short work of Troy Barfoot. Behind the plate for Harrison Peters, it's Stuart Perry doing the catching duties for the Tropics. These two have already met once way back early in the week. And Sydney came out there, and that's a fair ball down the line. It hugs the line. Tyler Hewitt aboard with a base hit. High hopper up and over the head of Jamie Sheehan. And Georgian Bay, a one-out single for the two-batter. Sydney, a 2-0 win during their matchup on the World Tournament side of the bracket. Adam Buchner had the only hit for Georgian Bay in that game. Harrison Peters had 12 Ks. Matt Wickham was 3 for 4 with a home run. This one misses inside. And we're going to stick with this home plate shot for a couple of minutes. Luciano Lafrano has run off to perform some emergency surgery, as that's a high hopper out to the shortstop. Good play by the shortstop, Ryan King, to throw out Andrew Van Boekel. And this is what you might expect with Harrison Peters. Good drop ball. He's got a decent rise ball as well as the changeup, all three pitches. But with the hard drop from Peters, Georgian Bay bashing into the ground right now. Buchner, the big tall check, one of two checks on the Georgian Bay Giants. One hopper right into the glove of the first baseman, Boston Lowe. So a strikeout and a couple of ground balls gets Harrison Peters and the Sydney Tropics out of the top of the first. We'll go to the home half with the Tropics coming back up. Stay with us on the ISC Network. ISC 2 Winners Bracket Final just getting underway. Welcome back. Bottom of the first inning for the ISC 2 winter bracket final. Georgian Bay Giants and the Sydney Tropics. Leading off for the Giants, it's Ryan King, Stuart Perry, Matt Wickham. 1, 2, 3 for the Giants. We'll get you caught up on the rest of the order. Defensively for the Giants, left to right across the outfield, Tyler Hewitt, Curtis Root, Cole McDougall, and then around the horn, Troy Barfoot, Andrew Van Boekel, Enzo Chiramonte, and at first base, it's Wade Kiwajishik. High hopper over the head of the third baseman, Troy Barfoot, and aboard with a single, a leadoff single, is Ryan King. Out on the board, it's Yuya Yamawaki for the Georgian Bay Giants, one of 6 Japan players here this week, and he has been very impressive for the Giants. 29 2/3 innings pitched. He's 3-1 with 54 strikeouts. Stuart Perry trying to put down the bunt. And again, tries to bunt that changeup that fell off the table right at the plate. So 0-2 on Stuart Perry. Chiramonte will turn and flip to first and effectively does the job. Doesn't get credit for the sacrifice, but moves up the runner to second base. Stuart Perry down 4-3, but Ryan King up to second on the play. The Tropics are 3-0 in the ISC 2 bracket. They ended up going 2-2, although one of those was a default win in the World Tournament side. They opened up with a 7-1 loss to Ostrander, had the default, the 2-0 win over Georgian Bay, and then lost 1-0 to the Kegel Black Knights. Coming into ISC 2, 3-0, 5-0 over the Seattle Dirt Dogs, 1-0 over the Walton Brewers, and 8-0 over the Steveston Canadians. So they've yet to allow a run in ISC 2 play. Pitching by committee, Tyson Duncan got the win versus Seattle. Boston Lowe, the victory over Walton, and Harrison Peters over Steveston in 5 innings. Peterson, the ace of the squad, coming in for the Tropics, and this one lifted up to right, drifting back, and having to reach up. And this throw comes into nobody in particular, the double tag and sliding in to score, and that's what happens when you don't hit the cutoff man. Ryan King scores from second base on the tag up. So credit Matt Wickham with a sac fly to 9 and an RBI, somewhat unconventionally. The throw by the right fielder, Cole McDougall, missed the cutoff man and just bobbled around the infield a little bit. And a free run for the Sydney Tropics here in the bottom of the first inning. Big James Darby, one hopper out to short, and the toss to first gets them out of the inning. Nice play by Andrew Van Boekel at short to end the inning for the Giants, but a mental error, and the Giants give up a run in the home half through one complete. Sydney out in front. So Wade Kiwajishig will lead things off for the Giants here, top of the second inning. Gave away a run in the first. And fouled that one straight back to the screen. Lots of excitement going on here in the ISC World Tournament. We just had a walk-off victory for JB, 1-0 over the AWP Lumberjacks in the game immediately preceding this one. And over on Diamond 2, in a game that half an hour ago I thought was done and dusted, as the Oma Tigre were up 7-4, and somebody said that was it for the Circle Tap season. Well, guess what? It's now 9-9, and they're in the bottom of the 8th. And Circle Tap's got 2 guys aboard, too. Swing and a miss. Down goes Kiwajishig. Meti Raisavi, the other Czech player for the Georgian Bay Giants. He was the newcomer in ISC 2 a year ago, playing for the Pueblo Bandits. The Bandits would beat Georgian Bay 6-1, Joe, 6-0 in the championship game last year. 6-0. Raisavi getting the Jamie Boyd Memorial ISC 2 Newcomer of the Year award. We'll have to take care to award that. I'm sure there's a certain pitcher from Georgian Bay who looks pretty good for that one at the moment. There's some other newcomers here too, though, that have looked really good this week. One hopper. Jamie Sheehan puts that away for the Tropics. And Jamie wanted to say hello to his 7-year-old son, Ted Sheehan, watching back at home in Sydney. How you doing, Ted? I hope you're having a great day. Your dad is mostly behaving himself up here in Western Canada. Curtis Root. Just off the outside corner. That's a good take by Curtis Root. Swing and a miss here, and Harrison Peters picks up another 2 strikeouts to run his total to 3. We'll go to the home half. Sydney Tropics coming back up, trying to add to that 1-0 lead.
Let's talk about a local one-stop shop. Live Well for Life is just that, a fitness, nutrition, and therapy facility all under one roof. Located at 3878 Wellington Street in Mitchell, Ontario, you can get so much done in just one visit. A full complement of staff on hand include chiropractic, massage, and personal training to get you back to your healthy self. Find them on the web at livewellforlifeinc.com or give
Live Well for Life, a proud sponsor of the broadcast program.
For the best Bear Tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with 2 of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
Boston low to lead things off for the Sydney Tropics. Here, home half of the second inning. They picked up a run courtesy of a mental error by the Giants. Good looking changeup floated in there by Yamawaki. His motion doesn't change at all on the changeup. And then brings in the hard drop down and in to Boston Low. On the pitching side of the equation, Low picked up that 1-0 win over the Walton Brewers a couple of days back. 11 strikeouts in that one for Boston. Ryan King, the solo home run for the only run in the game. Chases the drop ball downstairs, strike 3. Yamawaki picks up his first strikeout of the game. He's rung up a lot of them over the course of this run in ISC 2. .13 against the Emery Electric Chargers from Victoria. And in a big 4-2 win over the Midland Explorers, he had 14 Ks in that one. Way up at the front of the box here. Ben Bull. Sorry, I take that back. Jamie Sheehan, way up at the front of the box. Not orthodox, but maybe trying to get the ball before it moves. In for a strike. Off the outside corner. Swing and a miss. Down goes Jamie Sheehan on strikes. 2 straight for Yamawaki. Now Ben Bull to the plate. And pulls that one through the 5.5 hole. And is aboard with a 2-out single. Sam Seach, center fielder for the Sydney Tropics. These guys played in the MacArthur Shootout back last December, which was designated as an international qualifier. Earned their way here. It's a huge, huge commitment for a team from Australia to make the trip. We are really glad to see the Sydney Tropics. First team since 2001 or 2003, I forget which, but the Brisbane squad came up and played. Down and in to Sam Seach. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On the move, Ricevi, a strong throw and called out for leadoff. So that's the 3rd out of the inning. That'll go down as a caught stealing. So a pair of strikeouts, a base hit, but ultimately Ben Bull out for leadoff. So it amounts to a 1-2-3 inning. We'll see Sam Seach come back in the 3rd through 2 complete. Sydney Tropics 1, Georgian Bay Giants no score. This is the ISC 2 winner bracket final.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait.
So Giamonte to the plate. Giamonte had 2 RBI, double in the 4-2 win over Midland. He's got a couple of home runs in the tournament. One of them came in that 5-4 come from behind win over the Can West Thunder. They walked that one off in the 8th inning. Giamonte from Argentina. This is his second season with Georgian Bay. Big cut, comes up empty. Plays with Georgian Bay in the Blue Water League in Ontario all summer long. And upstairs, ball 4 from Harrison Peters. Couldn't get Giamonte to chase after that the 3rd time. And Coach Pete McDougall be happy for Giamonte to have taken that walk. Cole McDougall, or as he was put down on the lineup card, Clo. Shows bunt, looks at a strike on the outside corner. And I only bring that up for laughs because the coach called me down to field level right before the game and said, you know that's Cole, not Clo. And I said, of course we know it's Cole. Cole, a longtime player on the ISC tournament circuit with Wyerton Nationals and now with the Georgian Bay Giants. We had a good chuckle about that. Upstairs, McDougall doesn't chase it. Harrison Peters, perhaps the fastest worker here in the ISC World Tournament. He gets the ball, he's back on the board, and it is coming your way inside of 10 seconds. McDougall down on strikes, 4th of the game for Peters. Just off the outside corner. On the move and in and out of the hands of our catcher, Stuart Perry. So Giamonte up to second base, uncontested. And that one misses downstairs, so 2-0. That's off the glove of Perry, up to third, sliding in a cloud of dust. Got the uniform dirty so they know you played. But I think that's the way Charmonte plays all the time. Umpires for this one, Dave Harrington out of Napanee, Ontario. Swing and a miss by Troy Barfoot. And Mark Corris from Prescott, Arizona. Foul back to the screen. Hard hit ball down to third. Sheehan keeps it in the infield, but no play at first. And we've got the bases loaded now. I'm sorry, I'm a batter behind. That was Tyler Hewitt. So Barfoot is out at second base. Tyler Hewitt at first. Chiramonte still over at third. And this is Andrew Van Boekel. Big cut. Van Boekel batting .263 in the ISC 2 portion of the tournament. He's got 5 hits, 19 at-bats. Fouls that one back to the screen. Little pop-up on the infield. Calling for it is second baseman Ben Bull. Pulls that down for the second out. Adam Buchner to the plate. 368, 7 for 19 for the Giants. He picked up the pitching win in that 5-4 victory over Can West. 17 strikeouts. Fouls this one straight back to the screen. Little flare, and Ben Bull will go get that just on the edge of the grass. Harrison Peters works into and out of trouble here in the top of the third. The Giants leave the bases loaded. They might rue that opportunity missed. Sydney out in front. 1-0 will go to the home half of the third coming up.
Does your game need work? Want to get better every game? Every at-bat? You need Lumberjack Sports, focusing on exceptional quality and providing players with reliable, long-lasting product. Lumberjack Sports brings you in-game equipment and off-field workout gear, designed and tested by top fastball player Nick Shales. Hard work, strength, and all-around commitment to getting the job done, and done right, is the motto for Lumberjack Sports. Learn from the best. Play like the best. Check out lumberjacksports.ca.
Sam Seach back to the plate. It's 1 for 11, 1 for 10 for Sam, 11 plate appearances. Lifted up to center field. 1, 2 steps over and 1 step back. Curtis Root pretty much rooted in place to make that out. Chris Plain, and honestly, I think they're hiding this guy down in the 9 spot. 400 for the ISC 2 section of the tournament. Had a home run in their 8-0 win over the Steveston Canadians. Yamawaki on the inside corner for a strike. He really does like to work inside a lot, especially to the righties. And down and away, and a swinging strike this time. Real good mix of pitches, and we've seen this from all 3 of the Japanese pitchers that have been here this week. Yamawaki, also Ryo Koyama, and Shota Onodera. Now, unfortunately for the latter 2, their team, the Oma Tigre, just eliminated in 8 innings, a 10-9 walk-off win for the Circle Tap Dukes. Oma was out in front in that one, 7-4. And they end up losing 10-9, a real shootout for those 2 teams. Conversely, the game between JB and AWP, JB winning a 1-0 walk-off in the bottom of the 7th. Down and in, and ball 4 to the 9 batter, Chris Plain. First walk of the afternoon by Yamawaki. Ryan King back to the top of the shop, singled and scored the 2-base tag up. This one well hit to center, going back to the track, to the fence, up and over. It's a home run. Ryan King in and out of the glove of center fielder Curtis Root, couldn't hang on to it, and it's a 2-run shot for Ryan King. We've seen a couple of guys go up and successfully bring those back. Most recently, it was Patrick Burns over in right field. Root gave it a valiant effort, but just couldn't quite hang on. Skipped in by Yamawaki to Stuart Perry. Perry grounded out to second back in the first inning. So Sydney now with a 3-0 lead over the Giants. The winner of this goes directly to the ISC 2 championship game tomorrow afternoon. The loser will drop down into, I guess, what we've been calling the redemption round. The must-win round. I think Peter Labardius called it that earlier this afternoon. Yamawaki lost the grip on the ball. It fell out of his hand in his delivery. That's ball 4. That counts as a delivered pitch. So down to first on the walk. Stuart Perry. You see just about everything over the course of a week. Stolen home runs that bounce in and out of gloves as somebody tries to make a spectacular catch at the fence. And out of the dugout for Georgian Bay pops Nate Runnings. Nate will go down that right field line and warm up. Inside to Matt Wickham. Matt came in batting .389, 7 for 18. Picked up a sac fly RBI. This one is lifted up. And Ricevy in behind the plate, right up against the fence, will make the catch for the second out. That'll bring up James Darby, the ageless veteran, played internationally for Great Britain. 3 hits, including a home run in their 5-0 win over the Seattle Dirt Dogs. Overall, batting 6 for 15, .429. Yamawaki tries the changeup for ball 1. Called a strike, and I think probably on the swing, as certainly went at least halfway around. Darby's going to take a little bit of a walk and reset. That one misses just downstairs. A lot of the folks who were over watching the Oma Tigre Circle Tap game migrating over here back to the main diamond. And a good upstairs changeup from Yamawaki and James Darby. It's a good thing the shoes were tied up. He might have come out of them. Called strike 3, the outside corner. Darby, a bat flip and a warning from Dave Harrington. Sure, Dave Harrington having a chat with the skipper right now about that's not on. Third strikeout of the game for Yamawaki. But the Tropics push across 2 more and now have a 3-0 lead.
Dreamcatcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
First pitch swinging, and no doubt about this one. Oh my goodness, way back into the trees. Wade Kiwajishig puts a charge into one. That will be in contention for the longest home run of the week. Métis Reisevi will try to follow up that. I don't know how you, that's like closing for Bruce Springsteen. How do you follow that up? Chases the rise ball upstairs. So Georgian Bay get on the board with a solo home run here in the fourth. And timed by Métis Reisevi. And this one's up and over the screen. There were 5 people who had a chance to play that ball in the stands. Everybody jumped away from it. Reisevi chases the rise ball upstairs, down on strikes, and Harrison Peters answers back on that big home run with a key strikeout. His 5th on the afternoon. Curtis Root, who just couldn't come up with the grab out in center field. Certainly a valiant effort, gave it a shot, but slipped out of his glove. Squares to bunt, fouls that straight back to the screen. Root batting .308 coming into the game. 4 for 14. Sorry, 14 plate appearances, 13 at bats. But that is not going to help the batting average whatsoever. Charamonte walked, stole second, got as far as third in the third. And we know he's got a little pop in the bat as well. A couple of home runs here this week. Bleeder on the infield, picked up nicely by the shortstop, Ryan King, who has looked very impressive here this week for the Sydney Tropics. I'm sure there are some teams taking a look at Ryan King. Giants get on the board with a titanic home run by Wade Kiwajishig. Harrison Peters roars back with a couple of strikeouts and a ground out. 3-1 now for Sydney. We'll go to the home half of the fourth. Stay with us on the ISC Network.
For the best Bear Tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with 2 of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
low, Jamie Sheehan, Ben Bull for the Sydney Tropics, and this one misses down and in. Boston 231 coming into this one. Sydney got here about a week and a half ago. They played 3 doubleheaders here at Softball City in the lead up to the ISC World Tournament. They played the lower mainland teams here in the greater Vancouver area in a series of doubleheaders. It was great for a number of reasons. Obviously, it was some tune-up games for the Tropics as they get their money's worth for the trip. It was an opportunity for those Vancouver teams to play an international team, but it also got to test the systems and everything here in prep for the ISC World Tournament. This tournament puts a lot of stress on facilities, and talking in between innings to our VP of the World Tournament, Rich Haldane, who has done just an absolutely amazing job here on the scheduling and coordinating with the host committee and picking up all of the loose ends that were left for him. And absolutely nothing but praise from all of the teams as Rich offers some cash for all of the kind words. And I don't say that just because his lovely wife is sitting here with us up in the broadcast booth as well. Boston low lifts this one out to center field. On the move is the center fielder for Georgian Bay Giants, Curtis Root. But it's just an absolutely beautiful, purpose-built facility, and I think the best in Canada, certainly that I've been to, and maybe all over North America for this type of event. And I dearly hope that the ISC World Tournament makes a return visit here to Softball City in Surrey, British Columbia at some point in the not-so-distant future. Let's give it a bit of time to settle, but I hope we're back here sometime this decade. High hopper on the infield over to the third baseman, Troy Barfoot. Jamie Sheehan down to his counterpart. Ben Bull to the dish. Ben singled and then called out on leadoffs, and this one is drilled to the gap in left center. That's going to go all the way to the fence. Bull, a stand-up double. Sam Seach will step in for the Tropics, the 8th batter. 4th hit of the afternoon for Sydney. High strike called on Sam Seach. Yamawaki floated in the changeup, fooled just about everybody. That one misses downstairs. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Sam Seach. Little curveball that just missed off the side of the plate. Snap throw down. Reisevi has got a real strong arm behind the plate and apparently has gone to the Rafa Flores school of throw to any base at any time. If you can throw that well, why not? It's a low percentage play. But as long as the shortstop knows it's coming, give it a whirl. Nibbling away at that outside corner to the right-handed Sam Seach, but Yamawaki just can't find that outside bit of the plate. There it is, right across the front corner. Yamawaki rings up Sam Seach, his 4th of the afternoon. Through 4 complete. Score remains Sydney 3 and Georgian Bay 1.
He came from Australia with a superstar pedigree. And from his first ISC in 2003, you knew he was going to be something special. 6 times All-World, a 3-time ISC champion, and now the first Aussie inducted into the ISC Hall of Fame. From counting materials and the farm in Wisconsin, to Kitchener, to finding a home in the New York Gremlins colours. Congratulations, Jeff Goolagong, from all of us.
McDougall, the 9-batter for the Giants, and just that quick, you blink, and we're into the 5th. Backpedaling is the second baseman, Ben Bull, but that's enough to get Cole McDougall. Back to the top of the shop for Troy Barfoot. Walked and got to second base in the 3rd. But I was just starting to say, you blink and we're already in the 5th inning. This one moving at a much better pace than the last 2. Barfoot pokes that foul. For those that are wondering, Georgian Bay is up in or near Owen Sound and Wyerton, Ontario. The Grey Bruce Peninsula. A lovely part of the province. Barfoot swings and misses at the drop ball in the outside corner. 7th strikeout of the game for Harrison Peters. Peters was here in 19 with the San Antonio Titans. No relation to the Glowworm squad. And had a really good tournament that week, made the 2nd team All-World. He's always been a strikeout pitcher. The team I was coaching that year, St. John's, I don't remember, we played the Titans. I don't remember Peters working so quickly, but certainly this is something that a lot of other pitchers could take some lessons from. Tyler Hewitt, a home run in the 4-2 win over Midland. Can't catch up to this one. Down on strikes. Make it 8 now. Harrison Peters, very efficient. Just 66 pitches, 5 innings. His Sydney Tropics looking pretty good right now for a spot in the ISC 2 championship game tomorrow afternoon. Greg Tatey, the veteran from the Blue Water area, Port Elgin, into the game at third base. Troy Barfoot comes out, first pitch swinging and drilled. Chris Plain adds to his hit total. He came in batting .400 and now will give way to a pinch runner. And that may be it for Yamawaki. As Pete McDougall comes out, takes the ball, and Yamawaki will walk off to a round of applause. Gives up 3 runs on 5 hits. The runner at first will be his responsibility. And we'll take a break, and we will let Ty Boyd get his warm-up pitches in.
Sometimes people worry about asking for help because there can be a stigma around mental health problems.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
They might believe that asking for help means admitting that something's wrong.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Some people worry about how others might see them.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Asking for help means that you want to make changes and take the first steps towards better mental health.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
We should celebrate the courage it takes to speak up and make changes.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Getting help is part of recovery.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Mental health isn't something you need to keep to yourself.
Back to the top of the shop for Ryan King, showing bunt early against the young lefty Ty Boyd. Ty is the son of Jamie Boyd, for whom our Newcomer of the Year award is named after. Jamie tragically lost his life in a snowmobile accident about 4 or 5 years ago now. Popped up in the air, Ricevi. So King unable to get the bunt down. Stuart Perry, ground out in a walk for the 2-batter for the Sydney Tropics. First pitch swinging, and Sends this one foul down the left side. Joe Todd, who knows all these things better than me. Ty Boyd is, what, 20, 21? Or even 22? So a 2-1 count on Stuart Perry for young Ty Boyd. Comes in with a strike. He's worked his way up through the U18, U21, which changed to U23 ranks. And just off the outside corner. So a run it to a full count on Stuart Perry. Swing and a miss. A good-looking drop ball from Ty Boyd gets Stuart Perry. Kyle Smith says Ty Boyd is in his final year of the U23 division. Thanks, Kyle. Dead ball, foul at the plate. Matt Wickham. An RBI sac fly back in the first to get the Tropics on board. Laces this one foul down the left side. Chopper on the infield. Greg Tatey will make the toss across the diamond. Chris Plain, a leadoff single, but stranded by Ty Boyd. Good job coming on for Yuya Yamawaki. We will go to the home half of the fifth inning. Really good pace to this game. We might get this one done in under an hour and 45.
Catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there.
First pitch to Andrew Van Boekel. Ball one, down and away. Just had to wait to see whether or not he was going to have been judged to have gone after it. And that's foul and behind the plate, picked off by Stuart Perry. We have had a plethora of exciting games already here today at the ISC World Tournament. It started with a barn burner this morning between the Grand Prairie Pirates They won 8-7 over the Fargo-Kegel Black Knights. That game featured 13 runs in the first inning and a half. And if you hung around to the end, you saw a 2-run home run by the Black Knights to get it to 8-7. As this one is punched out to short right. On the run to make the grab is Matt Wickham. Pat Burns stealing a home run from Damon Creasy. That would have tied the game in the bottom of the 7th. Grand Prairie hangs on to win 8-7 over the Fargo-Kegel Black Knights. And then JB and AWP Lumberjacks lock up in a 0-0 game all the way into the bottom of the 7th as this one is lifted up, but that's going to go foul and out of play a long way down the right field line off the tent out there in right field. It'll actually ricochet back onto the diamond. JB walk it off in the bottom of the 7th for a 1-0 win. On the second diamond, the Toronto Batmen hang on for a nervy 5-3 win over Glowworm. Glowworm had the tying run at the plate in the bottom of the 7th inning. Adam Buchner at the plate. And this one is lifted out to deep left field, back to the track and gone. Adam Buchner draws the Giants within 1. A long solo home run out to left. And the big, tall young man from the Czech Republic does his team a favor. And guess who's at the plate? The other guy who banged one out of here for the Giants. Wade Kiwajishig. Just off the outside corner. Well, these two played a 2-0 game almost about 5 days ago. Oh, Kiwajishig in front of the changeup pops this one up, and Boston Lowe will pull that in for the out. Great changeup there from Harrison Peters, and he caught Kiwajishig out front on the front foot. But Métis Reisevi has got plenty of pop. Strike 1 on the outside corner. And he puts a charge into this one. Center field, gone! Métis Reisevi ties the game here in the top of the 6th inning. It's the Czech connection for the Georgian Bay Giants. It looks like we're getting a pinch hitter for Curtis Root. Aiden Yard, number 98. Now, I got to be honest, this is the first time I've seen Mr. Yard, so we're all going to find out together what he's got. And Peters maybe a little unnerved by the 2 solo home runs well wide of the plate. Georgian Bay has made a habit of scoring runs late in games. The walk-off against Can West Thunder in 8 innings in their first game in ISC 2. They trailed against Emory Electric. They trailed against the Midland Explorers, but won both of those games to put themselves into this winter bracket final. And that got a bite out of Dave Harrington. And we're back as Dave Harrington gets things looked after. Troy Latch for the Sydney Tropics, and the skipper for Wyerton had come down to see if everything was okay, and a walk by Aiden Yard. But the momentum, which seemed to be pretty solidly on Sydney's side, broken by a pair of solo home runs here in the top of the 6th inning. A big cut by Enzo Sharamonte. Fouls this one straight back to the screen, and very quickly down 0-2, the Argentine. Peters zips this one in, and good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Enzo Sharamonte down on strikes. But it's the Czech connection, Adam Buchner and Meti Raisovi, tie this game up in the top of the 6th. We're knotted at 3. It's all to play for.
For the best Bear Tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with two of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
Big James Darby will lead things off for the Sydney Tropics. Change up from Ty Boyd, swing and a miss, way out in front. Darby looking like he's trying to hit one back to Sydney. And out in front again, good pitch. Ty Boyd pitched at the Canadian U23 Championship a couple of weeks back, held in Kitchener, Ontario for the Wiarton Red Devils. Darby just off the end of the bat for a foul tip. Bottom of the 6th inning. Sydney a bit shell-shocked to be suddenly tied. All of the Giants' runs here in the game by way of solo home runs. A little tapper to Boyd, turns, spins, and throws out James Darby. And the differential in years between those two would be relatively significant. Boston Low to the plate, 0 for 2. Coming up, it is the New York Gremlins and the Bear Creek Express, perhaps the two best pitchers in the game, maybe. Jack Besgrove, Sean Cleary. There's some others, certainly, that would be in that conversation or contention for number 2. Besgrove would be the consensus ace. Two and one to Low. Out to right, on the run, and making the grab. Cole McDougall, second out of the inning. Jamie Sheehan, and in case you missed it, wanted to say hi to his young son, Ted Sheehan, 7 years old, watching back in Sydney, Australia. Thanks for joining us all week here, Ted. Calling Dr. WD-40. And we'll have to let everybody know this is a no trespassing zone. Well hit and gone. Jamie Sheehan with a home run, and Ted, I'm sure that one is for you. Sydney Tropics answer right back with a solo shot of their own off the bat of Jamie Sheehan. Straight away center field into the exercise camp for Bear Creek out there. Ben Bull now at the plate. And this is a line shot out to right over the head of Enzo Chiaramonte at second. And Ben Bull 3 for 3 on the afternoon. Two singles sandwiched around a double. That'll bring up Sam Seach. That gets past Ricevy, and up to second base goes Bull. Little meeting out there on the board to talk about signals. Dave Harrington making sure that that is the gist of the conversation. That one's fouled off by Seach. Sydney Tropics 4, Georgian Bay Giants 3 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Inside, Seach has to dance back out of the way. Punched out to center field. Around comes Ben Bull, and it's 5-3 for Sydney. Great time for second hit of the tournament for Sam Seach. Picks up an RBI single. Aiden Yard stayed out in center field after pinch hitting for Curtis Root. In for a strike. Chris Plain, a walk and a single. And this one is a wild pitch and snap throw down to second just in case. Sam Seach wasn't going to be paying attention but kept a foot on the bag. Boy, Ricevy really has an impressive arm. Hard one hopper down to Troy Barfoot, but that's actually Greg Tatey. But Sydney answer back with two of their own in the bottom of the 6th inning. They'll take a 5-3 lead. We'll go to the top of the 7th. Well, it won't be Harrison Peters to try and finish this one for the Sydney Tropics. That is big Duncan Tyson, the hard-throwing left-hander who will come on to try and shut the door and pick up the save for the Tropics. Hayden Hellier is pinch hitting for Georgian Bay. This one is down and in. I'm sure Hayden might have thought twice if he'd have known he was going to get a hard-throwing lefty. Little curveball in the outside corner, or just off the outside corner. Line shot right into the glove of the shortstop. Ryan King puts that away. So back to the top of the shop. It's Greg Tatey, who came on defensively a couple of innings ago for Troy Barfoot. And what a different look. Not just left-handed, but what a completely different look from Harrison Peters. Back past Duncan, but second base, and in and out of the glove of Boston Lowe at first. Ben Bull ranged over to his right to go get it, but Boston Lowe can't hang on to the throw. So Tatey aboard on the error. And that'll bring up Tyler Hewitt. And just about hits the mascot. Down to second goes the throw, but Tatey easily up to second base. And nearly all the way out to second base goes the catcher, Stuart Perry. Just a double check on the signs with his big left-hander, Tyson Duncan. Hewitt homered in their win over Midland. In for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Took a little bit off and had Hewitt out in front on the front foot. Fouls it straight back to the screen. Swing and a miss over the top. That's a good looking drop ball to get Tyler Hewitt. Inside to Andrew Van Boekel. Tatey aboard on the error. Van Boekel, the last hope here for the Georgian Bay Giants. Top of the 7th inning, trailing by 2. Fly ball, center field. pulls it in, and the Sydney Tropics will play for the ISC2 championship tomorrow afternoon. Georgian Bay falls down to the loser bracket final. They can still earn their way back for a rematch, but some work to do. But congratulations to the Sydney Giants, who will play for an ISC championship coming off this trip, this long trip up to Vancouver. Coming up in about 20 minutes' time, one of two ISC World Tournament winners bracket semifinals. This one featuring the New York Gremlins and the Bear Creek Express, number 1 and number 4 in the rankings. Jack Besgrove, Sean Cleary. Stay tuned. We'll be bringing that one to you shortly. Thanks for joining us, and have a great afternoon.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas.
Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more.
The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com